Hi everybody, Andy here again for another instalment of our Jass sessions. I hope you're all enjoying it still so far. It's been a while since I've recorded one of these, so I might be a bit rusty. Christmas and all of that kind of got in the way. Yeah, Happy New Year to all of you, unless it's May or October or something like that when you watch this. Right, okay, let's crack on with another call. I might try and get two done. I will see what sort of time we have left. The first one I want to look at is one called Jack 9, or in Swiss speak that would be Bour now. So that's the one we're going to look at today, first of all. So in time old fashion, let's start off with the points. How does it score? Well, the points count exactly the same as a top down. That's easy. But the priority, as you might expect, is a little bit different. But it's quite simple to remember. So basically, if you remember in trumps, the priorities in the trump suit are Jack 9, Ace, King, Queen, 10, 8, 7, 6. And it's exactly the same in this call of Bour now or Jack 9. The difference is that it's that priority in every suit. So I've just got them laid out. Hopefully you can see that on your screen as well. So that's the priority that the cards are. But just remember, as I say, the big thing really is that the points aren't like the trumps. It's actually just counts simply as a top down. Now that makes it a little bit tricky, a bit weird one that you need to watch out for, because although the Jack's the master, it's only worth 2 points. Remember, on a top down, Jacks are 2 points, and 9s are worth nothing. So your top priority and your second priority between them are only worth 2 points. So you could, in theory, play your Jack and win the trick, play your 9 and win the trick. And actually, if you don't pull a lot of the other high scoring cards, like 10s and 8s, remember on a top down 10 and 8 are worth 10 and 8 points respectively. If you're not pulling those, or the ace worth 11 points, you've actually won 2 tricks but not won many points. So it can be a little bit, well, you just have to be careful of that and be aware of it when you are calling it. When to call it? Well, if you think, for me, it's a little bit similar in some ways to a middle. If you remember where we had the 10 was priority, then the Jack and 9 were second priority, and then the 8 and the Queen were third priority, and so on. So it's a little bit similar to that, other than you haven't got the 10. So again, in the scenario where you can see the priority here, we're going Jack through to the 6. If I just slot that 10 above there like that, you see, then suddenly it looks a bit like a middle. So it's quite similar, just if you haven't got the 10, then it's maybe looking a little bit more Jack 9. So that's that. So call it, when to call it, yeah, it's similar to a Jack, to a middle, but no 10s. You could call it if you have lots of Jacks and 9s, especially if you've got the Jacks as masters, and then try and get the 9s with it. The other way I would sometimes call it is if I've got a long run, say like that, or even like that. If I've got the Jack 9, Ace, King, 7 and 6 in one suit, then that's a really good Jack 9 kind of base to start from, especially if you've got another Jack or 2 with it as well. That's a good call for a Jack 9 as well. Because you're going to win all of these tricks. And remember, as always, you're playing with a partner, so your partner may well be able to give you some points, firstly in this suit, but also when they run out of spades, as in this example, they might be able to throw away, some 8s. And Schmier is the Swiss speak name for it, where your partner gives you your points to throw away as you're winning the tricks. Okay, so that's the Jack 9. Rattle through it quite quickly because I want to get on to the second one, which we're going to look at today briefly, which is Rio. Had to look at my notes. Sorry about that. Rio, not very well practiced. I'm out of practice. Rio, slightly more difficult, I think. Although we did teach this to a friend of ours, Rob. Hi, Rob. Recently, and he actually found it quite straightforward. But he's pretty bright, so that's why. So Rio, the principle is that there are 2 suits that are trumps. Weird alert, there are 2 suits that are trumps. So for example, and for the purpose of this exercise, I'm just going to assume that it's red, Rio red. And I've just realised that the cards I've got ready are black. So there you go, that's a bit daft, wasn't it? So Rio red I'm going to go with. So in Rio red, then the red suits, which are hearts and diamonds, those red suits, the priority is going to be like trumps, so Jack, 9, Ace, King, Queen, 10, 8, 7, 6. Let me just get that out quickly for you there, now that I've quickly rattled those off. So that's your priority in your red suit. And in your black suit, because we've gone Rio red, remember, in your black suit, so spades and clubs, I had to look down at what they were, spades and clubs, the priorities are going to be like a top down. Okay. The points are also like a top down. So the point scoring again is pretty much straightforward. It's the priorities that's a little bit tricky. So Rio red, red suits, hearts and diamonds, the priorities like trumps. In the black suits, the spades and the clubs, the priority is like top down. So what's the thing with the trumps? What's going on? Well, the point is whichever of so in Rio red, hearts and diamonds are trumps. How does that work? Whichever one is played first on each trick, each set of 4 cards as you're playing, whichever one is played first is trumps for that trick. So if I were to play a heart, let's say the Jack of Hearts, then it doesn't matter if anyone, or sorry, let me say I play the 6 of Hearts. If someone's got the 8 of Diamonds and plays that next, they don't win that trick because I played the heart first. So in that trick, diamonds are not trumps. Okay, so even though the 8's better than the 6, because the heart played first, then the heart's the trumps for this trick. That's the crux of it. That's the key thing about it. Other point to note, if you've got the Jack of Trumps, so I don't know if you remember, actually I can't remember if when we were doing about trumps I said that you could withhold the Jack of Trumps. Okay, so in a normal trumps call, if you've got the Jack of Trumps, you don't have to play it. Okay, that's just a recap from when we did trumps. In Rio, you do have to play it. Okay, so you can't hold back the Jack of one of the trump suits. So in this case, Rio red, Jack of Diamonds, Jack of Hearts. You can't hold it back. So if I'm player 1 and I play the 6, if I'm player 2 and I've got the Jack and only the Jack of Hearts, I have to follow suit, and I have to play it if I've got it. That might seem obvious that you would want to, but actually let me give another scenario where, say, I've played the 9 and player 2 hasn't got a heart, they've played a 6, my partner has played a 8. If I'm player 4 and those cards are down, I'm not going to do the 8 for obvious reasons, I'm going to put the 6. Right, if I'm player 4 and I've only got the Jack of Hearts, I might not want to play it, because in the Rio, remember it counts as a top down, so the 9's worth nothing, the 6's worth nothing, the 6's worth nothing, the Jack's worth 2, bang, I've got rid of the Jack, but they've won 2 points, so it's nothing. So actually if they had another one, they would rather play another one, but actually if they didn't have, if the Jack's their only one, they have to play it, they can't hold it back. Okay, hope that makes sense, because I made that much more complicated than it really should be. But there you go. So hope that makes some sort of sense to you. As I say, the key point really is whichever one is laid first in that trick, that's the trumps for that trick. Okay, and you can't over trump in the other suit that is of the same colour. Okay, so we've gone through all of that. That's good. Hope that is right for you. I think I'm going to leave it at that. That's 2 calls there done tonight in one, 2 for the price of 1. Any questions with any of that, please let you know. Glad to see that there are some questions coming up. Hope that I've answered them fully. I know one of them will probably lead to a bit more of an extended review of the coiffeur in general. and how we decide who's going to be calling trumps, or which trump you call. Similar to this, actually, with Rio, you could choose Rio red, which is the red suits being trumps, or you could choose Rio black, where flip it all over and you've got the spades and the clubs then become the trump suits, and the hearts and diamonds become the top-down priority. But remember, the counting for Rio is still the same as top-down. I'm sure that's far more complicated than it needed to be. I probably explained it a lot easier to Rob, which is why he got it the first time round. If you haven't, just re-watch it, and if you want me to re-record it, just put it in the comments and say, Andy, that was rubbish, don't get it, don't understand it, what were you thinking, yeah, happy Christmas and all of that. So good, thank you all, enjoy yourselves, and I'll be hopefully putting another one up relatively soon. Thanks guys, cheers, bye bye.